If you ever have doubts about getting on camera and providing value to an audience, and whether as an introvert you can do that, whether we can do that, I think from that video there, Simon Sinek says, undoubtedly, yes, we can. All right, let's do this one. I'm excited to talk about Simon Sinek. We're doing a little screenshot record today, and we're going to share some information all about why Simon Sinek believes that introverts can be the greatest leaders and speakers. It's a pretty bold statement. He's a confident guy. And guess what? He is an introvert as well. Self-proclaimed. Simon Sinek, if you're not sure, I'll put a link in the video below in the description to him talking about his cause, and what got him really on the map was about his why, about finding your just cause, always starting with why instead of what or who or how. And it's about finding the reason we do things and why we pursue what we do. So actually, as content creators, just watching some of his stuff is so worthwhile. So I will link below to probably his TED Talk. It's the most famous thing. But today, we're going to look at Simon Sinek talking all about how to leverage being an introvert. And we're going to put little clips in here and we're going to share and discuss, but he's basically talking about him being an introvert and why he believes that is his greatest attribute to being a really good public speaker and a communicator and a leader. He is a leader, but I really wanted to look at it from the creating content and speaking on camera and how that can be really, really powerful as an introvert or a quiet creator, right? So we're going to dive right in. So I'm going to get a little screen record and we're going to see the first few seconds. I've got my trusty notebook again. You know I have my notebook with me. Cheating? No. Using the leverage of a notebook, pad and pen. Excellent. So here we go. Simon Sinek talking about why introverts can be great, great speakers.
You have to know what the definition of introversion and extroversion are, right? Socially awkward is not, I know socially awkward extroverts. Right? It's not if you're uncomfortable, it's not social awkwardness, that's not introversion. I like, in terms of, it's Susan Cain's definition, it's about energy, which is an introvert loses energy from social interaction, an extrovert gains energy from social interaction. So an introvert wakes up in the morning with 5 coins.
That's so true. I think we forget that sometimes, that introverts, I'm an introvert, maybe you're an introvert, or just associate with that quiet creator aspect of being, we do. Like, it's not that we can't go out and socialize. And I think a lot of the time, I put the two together. I think, okay, I'm an introvert. Sometimes I struggle with social interactions and have done for years, but they're not really related in the same way all the time. So we can't just throw both in the bucket. And Susan Cain, you know what? I'll link again to this video too. We'll have Simon Sinek's and we'll have Susan Cain's talk on quiet. She talks from what he says about introverts losing energy as they go about with social interactions. So that cup that we have at the beginning of the day, at the end of the day, if we're engaging in social interactions with people or communicating with people in groups, slowly that cup is going down, 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 down. And at the end of the day, an introvert has to find quiet time. We have to go by ourselves to then recharge that cup again. On the flip side, extroverts, the more they engage with people and they search it out, right? They go and find somebody and talk to them or meet up with a group and suddenly their glass is actually getting full. And so that's the difference. How do we recharge our energy stores? That's what makes an introvert an introvert. So that's how he describes it initially. And then we're going to go to 1 minute 24. Boom, 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 boom. And now we're going to talk about leveraging the power of being an introvert as a speaker. And this is super interesting what he says here. Here we go.
I've learned to leverage what I have. So it makes me a much better public speaker to be an introvert because I don't like holding court. It freaks me out. But I like talking to individuals. So you'll notice when I speak, I talk to you, and then I talk to you, and then I talk to you, and I give everybody a whole idea or a whole thought, which actually what I learned helps me actually connect with an audience much better. But it's because...
It's so... it's like he's talking to me through the camera. It's so true. So the power of being an introvert and how we connect to people, it's different because he has that ability to connect with individuals one-on-one. He gets overwhelmed by looking at things as a big group. This is why I think talking on a camera and connecting with a YouTube channel this way is actually like really powerful for introverts. And I'm going to do a video, so I'll link it in, about how we can actually leverage that human-to-human connection through the camera without being overwhelmed by physical presence of people. But that's what he's talking about, how much as an introvert, he thrives on speaking to you, speaking to you, speaking to you, one to one, human to human. He thrives on it. And there's a clip in a second, and what I want you to do, and see if you can relate to this. The misconception sometimes, and the downfall of this, I've done it as well, is that I think sometimes, we're introverts, we're all quiet. Yes, we're quiet creators, but it doesn't mean we can't express and like really engage with people. So look at his body language as he gets excited about what is powerful for him as being an introvert. Just look at his body language here. So we're going to go to 2:14, and it epitomizes how much opportunity as an introvert we have to communicate through connection to other people, one-on-one, small groups. Check this out, so cool.
Right? But the one thing they all have in common, whether you're extroverted or introvert, is undying belief in your cause. Right? And the charisma is not how much energy you have. The charisma is how much you're willing to devote to that. And if it's all of it, you have charisma. You have leadership capacity.
Be the leader you wish you had. How much does he get excited? It's like, sometimes I think to myself, I need to dial this back a little bit. Do you feel the same? I don't know, like when I get excited about something, I'm scared of getting to the point of feeling like I'm extroverted with the way I engage that information. But actually, if it's coming from a place of true value, and this is what he's talking about. In this little clip, just before, he's talked about Richard Branson, the creator, the founder of Virgin. Richard Branson is a massive introvert. He doesn't engage well, and actually if you see it, when he's actually forced to engage in big groups, he does become a little bit unsure. But Richard Branson, as an introvert, is one of the most powerful communicators because he has undying enthusiasm. What does he talk? He talks about undying belief in your cause. He has undying belief in his cause. Simon Sinek has undying belief in his cause. I love what he talks about. And because of that, he comes across when he talks about it, just in that clip, as being really, really like attuned to what he's saying, like almost alive with his words, right? And I think sometimes that can be misconstrued with being extroverted because, as introverts, we should be very quiet and very timid, and we're quiet and we don't expand our voices. And it's not true. Like, some of us are like that, and that's absolutely fine. But we also might have the capacity to express when we get excited about something that is of value to us, that means something to us, that holds something really, really true to our hearts. And when we express that to one person, to a small group of people, to a camera right now, it can become animated because we're genuinely moved by what we share and what moves us. And again, that's what I talk about, like with music. Music moves me. And when I talk about, Pavarotti, Nessun Dorma, or Xavier Rudd, Spirit Bird, certain songs that gives me goosebumps and brings me to tears, it's because I'm excited by it, and I will share that. And so what I want to just leave you with is thinking about, if you ever have doubts about getting on camera and providing value to an audience, and whether as an introvert you can do that, whether we can do that. I think from that video there, Simon Sinek says, undoubtedly, yes, we can. Because if we come from a place, and I'll say it again, undying belief in our cause, and if we can devote that undying belief in our cause to individuals, wow, like that's pretty special. And it gets me excited because I know there's so many of you out there that feel the same and have the same desire to share. So if you feel that, if you have that willingness to get out there and to share what you value and what you're passionate about, don't let the fear of talking or presenting or communicating your thoughts be a barrier, because there are ways to deal with that and overcome that and work with that. And we'll do more videos about that for sure, about how we connect to people. But just remember, we're not shy people always as introverts. We can open up and connect. And I'm going to leave it there because I'm getting quite excited. And I could just ramble on and on. And the Buddha, he's telling me to shut up. Aren't you, buddy? So that's it. Believe in what you've got. Share the thoughts. Watch Simon Sinek's videos because they're really inspiring. Maybe find your why and get on it. Get on that camera and share with the people in front of you, human to human. All right, let's do it.